Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So yeah, you're basically keeping some kind of shard of memory, but the protagonists don't remember anything. Really? Interesting. So I expected that they might be not connected, but actually they connected because in not starting a new game, you can kinda continue. There's another chapter. It's possible to gather more to eventually make it proper. So it doesn't look like you just need to find the proper variant. You actually gathering all the semi-good variants until you make it whole enough. Well, interesting. Not sure how much it will take in time. And it's kind of weird that sometimes you just losing all variants for no reason. But at the same time, overall, it's still many variants to come. So we'll see. How should I behave now? That's a question.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Hello there.
And there's a mistake. That's questionable. Well, we'll see. Right. Let's see. I have to ask those questions. I want what I want, and you don't know what I want. I have to ask all those questions in the past. Which way should I go? I'm not sure how the loops are different, so let's try to approach it normally. Alright, let's continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Yeah, it's full loop. Okay.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Let's proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Should I go the path of pure token, or should I grab the plate actually and see where it will lead me? Some of them might be killed, but yeah, let's explore how she will be different if I will not be hostile at all. Because token's the way of things. Right, let's enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
She sounds very different there. That's interesting. Perhaps I grabbed the blade. And she reacted differently from the very beginning even without seeing the protagonist. It's kinda contradicting and not contradicted at the same time because if you have a blade, okay, that's understandable. She might behave different here. But at the same time, if she's not seeing the blade, then she fully controls the territory overall. So she has some kind of a senses around this place. Okay, well, let's and she chose different tactic, different approach this time. Alright? Let's play with it.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, he was so funny.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I have clothes though. Just checking in on you.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
What about feeding by the way and stuff?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on, let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
So, what's her name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
And the writer can only tell the truth, the things that he's saying. Or how he's saying, that's the question.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
She behaved very differently, of course she still can manipulate the known. But she didn't need that previously. That means that each time depends on your very first choices. You choosing how it will go further. Some sort of vessel is formed. Depends on the first impressions of the actions of protagonist. So this is... Can it be just pure Nio, can be actually a different vessel? Not sure how it works. That's why I choose this approach this time. So, is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
And if I don't?
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
She's already vessel. Vessel made of flesh, yeah. That was when she changed very fast in first attempt. So might be actually be a real vessel without memory. Or without all memory.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
If I am the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating? Or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Are you fucking serious to me? That's pretty relevant.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Interference. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but You don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Right.
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
And what are you going to do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
The amount of errands lowering and lowering. And also, I kinda knowing who she is anyway. I was sent here to slay you. You are apparently supposed to be to end the world. So, but it's not the full. It's interesting. But I wanted to see you for myself. I am still not sure what to believe.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
No, but I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from you.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to?
That's a good question.
We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Maybe even the same person.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
First one is quite safe. Yeah, also friends lead to weird events. I won't kill you, but I can't just set you free. It's too risky. What if I stayed for a while and just kept you company? Maybe then everyone could be happier.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
How so?
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
Not really.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Well, yeah, I have very fucking simple choice. Start exploring, so while she is here and in this form, so it looks like soon she will lose this so-called doll. And while she is kinda, well, weaker, it's a moment to use the blade. Alright, that's what it is.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. Fine, turn your back on me, but it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
So she is way faster to free herself, just in a few seconds.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Alright, so it's impossible to finish, and maybe not. There is only one way to know. But saying hello is the most stupid thing I can do. Alright. I've been fully determined. I know, I'm curious to try once just to be fully determined, just go and kill her and see what will be. And even this will not help, most likely. On the other hand, I'm in a different station right now. Second or third. Trying to persuade her now will not save the day, I guess. So, let's finish
Your
this.
eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Close the door behind you. Not really a good variant, but okay, let's close.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Waiting can be dangerous, but investigate Zara. Well, apparently if you don't see anyone here, it should be on the fucking top, but I can look up. Anyhow, so for some reason I don't have this very apparent and most reasonable option. But on the other hand, if it's on the road, like what can I do? It's not like I can, well, maybe I can throw a dagger, who knows? But this is a way to speak with her, actually. Alright, come on out. Let's just get this over with.
I can wait. I'm very patient.
She wasn't previously. Alright, let's wait.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Okay, we venture into shadows. I cannot wait for eternity.
You step into the shadows. Too late, you hear the quiet patter of feet against the basement floor, followed by the taut pull and sharp pain of tearing flesh as the princess lunges into you from behind and drags you to the floor. The ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back.
What do you mean?
This is the end.
So like have a chance?
I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Well, alright, let's see how to develop further. But I did. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
Alright, let's proceed to the cabin anyway.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
Voice of the hunted, by the way.
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Well, anyway, proceeding to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and
Mirror
dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Blade's still here.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Interesting. We should be in the same state or not. Well, not sure that playing with mirror makes sense right now. Alright, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Right. And there's the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
The chain's still on her.
Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess.
That's for sure.
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
I wonder why she didn't have a full form anyway. Well, she's so different right now. Was the whole thing last time a vessel? Yeah, maybe misunderstood. Maybe the vessel doesn't mean just flesh body or something. It's actually a fully changed thing. She can do the same stuff as she did in the past. This vessel was taken away from her. Or returned to her. That's questionable. Her mind probably is the same shattered. Maybe not. Alright. So now she still have a flesh. She's not in chains, but she's dragging part of the chain left on her. Well, if she's in different vessel, it's a good moment to speak with her. Men don't have to kill each other. You know that, right?
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. The princess lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. Guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
You spoke when you needed to act.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
Interesting. So she getting some information from nowhere as well. Interesting. Not just cannot leave it. Well, more explanation.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
Logical no.
Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something.
Yeah, I would like that.
You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
You could have asked me before swallowing me alive.
I acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours. The strong triumph, and the weak submit or perish.
So this version of her understands only power. Alright. Let's dig with the steel claw.
Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
We'll see.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slough from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
Alright, let's continue digging.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. The pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
I don't need to. Slay the princess.
So your body is dissolving, eroding into unrecognizable shapes. Your will drives it forward. You have a target, and you will strike it. We're too late, aren't we? This isn't survival. This is spite. No, it's something better. It's fulfilling a noble destiny. Your lone, functioning arm lashes out, stabbing up towards the princess's heart.
So you found a way to kill me? Then we'll die together, and I will see you again soon.
With those prophetic words, you do not draw another breath. Your body tangled and melting in the cooling folds of the princess's flesh. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, at least now I know what happens if I will kill her.
But at least you've saved the world. I hope.
The wild.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
Interesting. Yeah, she changed in reality as well as he do.
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third?
Yeah, logically.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
Well...
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
Oh, I like that. I don't feel so small anymore when you put it like that.
That's because you aren't small, even if you act that way. We're both so much more together than we were apart, and we can be so much more still. Vast, unfathomable.
You're not mad at us for stabbing you in the heart, are you?
No. Are you mad at me for swallowing you whole?
Nah, not really. It all seems so petty right now. She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
Why are you being nice to me? Aren't you a monster? Didn't you eat me?
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping. A heartbeat. Like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
But what?
I think we should hear out whatever it is that's trying to be heard. I like to take all options into account before making any big decisions, and what's the harm in just listening?
Well, it's gaze and the in your heart.
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. But she didn't care. She didn't care at all. All of that digging with the knife, and we didn't even get to win. That was hard work. I wanted to win. And what's the point of being part of a larger whole if we're not the one in charge of that whole? As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else, too. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to be.
No! I devoured you! I won! I put things back the way they were supposed to be!
No.
Some division, when so, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty.
you?
Well, there is a bit.
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live.
There is no reason to just leave, but how she end up like this? That's the question. Why she isn't the stay if she can manipulate things? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it. I mean, what's the point of being king of the hill if there's no one around to be better than? We'd just be sitting on a hill. Do we have to do this? You have to. You know you have to.
I'm not so sure. With the variants. The variants are really weird. Explain, okay, I understand that why it's here, but the first variant I didn't really even understand that. Had to put an end to whatever happened to us, but at the same time you're basically freeing her. And freeing her is definitely not a good idea, no matter how she looks like. Maybe she just creates a new body, whatever. Says the prince, let's see what will happen.
You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
The prince should cover after this.
I'm sorry.
And this vessel was taken. The second vessel returned. But they never say you die. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Let's just approach the mirror. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death. If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into reflection. Sense as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The same old creature. You've grown. Find yourself in the long quiet once again. Let's proceed to the cabin. In the cabin. Let's approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
So yeah, it really works like this. Interesting. She got memory slowly. And protagonist is growing, whatever does it mean. Dragon and the princess, but distorted. And basically maybe the same entity of sorts. Just black and white, yin and yang and stuff. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, all those questions make sense from there. What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Yeah, she just recovered memory. That's what's important to keep. Narrator definitely should be part of... If they're not part of the same entity, then narrator should be just a sandy voice of sorts. So yeah, the goal to make her full, but at the same maybe recover the own memory, hard to say. And I'm not just they need to kill her after this, that's kinda dumb. When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart.
So, curiosity it is.
Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
What do you feel about me? This vessel I've been bringing you. I've heard them.
There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I cannot be as I was before. There are new spaces that I must fill.
How many more vessels do I need to bring to you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective.
Well, it will take some time, I guess.
The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
It's not the same. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Oh, thank you anyway. Okay. No, definitely not about me. Now, I'm not sure what that's meant. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Not really. Well, I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Well, time for another cycle.